All right, let's dive right in. Have you ever had that feeling like you're living in a house that wasn't really built for you? Like your life is just running on some default program you never actually chose? Well, that's what we're talking about today. And more importantly, how you can go from being just a passenger to becoming the true architect of your own life.
This quote, it just nails the core of the human condition, doesn't it? It's that feeling deep down, that inner void, that sense of something missing. And what do? We try to fill it with things from the outside. More success, more stuff, more likes. But honestly, that's kind of like trying to fix a leaky foundation by just redecorating the living room. It just doesn't work.
So, I really want you to think about this for a second. The whole structure of your life, your beliefs, your gut reactions, your daily habits, did you consciously build all that? Or is it a structure that you just, well, inherited? Let's start by digging into this idea, the default architecture, that for most of us is running the whole show on autopilot. Now, the thing about this concept is that it's not about blame at all. It's just about awareness. This default architecture is simply the automatic programming we all got. It's a collection of beliefs and patterns that were installed in us long before we even knew we could write our own code. And what happens if we just let this default program run on its own? Well, the results are pretty predictable, right? We get stuck in these loops, repeating the same old mistakes. We try to buy our way to happiness, only to realize that void is still there. And all of this leads directly to stress, to burnout, and to that quiet, nagging feeling that the life you're living just doesn't quite fit. But here's the really powerful part. You don't have to live in that house forever. So let's move on and talk about how we can take back the blueprints and actually become the architect. This slide shows the huge shift in mindset. It's the difference between being a passenger and an architect. See, the passenger feels like life just happens to them. They're just reacting on autopilot. But the architect, they know they are the creator of their reality. They design their life with intention. It's a total game changer. And here's the crucial part. Becoming the architect isn't some fluffy motivational quote. It is a serious commitment. It means taking 100% radical responsibility for everything that's going on in your inner world. Yeah, it's tough. It can be confronting, but it is the only way to find real freedom. So, what does this actually look like day to day? Well, everything changes. You stop getting emotionally hijacked by every little thing and start making conscious choices. You start to feel this inner calm and resilience because your thoughts, feelings, and actions are all finally on the same team. And your relationships, they transform. They become about genuine connection, not needing someone else to fill that void for you. Okay, so every architect needs a toolkit before they can start a renovation. What are the essential tools we need to start redesigning our inner world? Let's get into it. First up is the interface. Think of this as the set of filters you see the world through. Your beliefs, your assumptions, your past. It's like the windows and doors of your mind. And if those windows are smudged and distorted, your entire view of reality is going to be off. The second tool is the Coherent Nexus. This is that sweet spot of inner harmony. It's the point where what you think, what you feel, and what you do are all moving in the same direction. When you get here, all that self-sabotage and internal conflict, it just melts away. And tool number 3 is neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP. Think of this as the actual power tool you use to deconstruct the old wiring. It's about understanding the language and the stories you tell yourself, and then actively rewriting that script to install new, much more empowering beliefs. It's the pen you'll use to draw your new blueprint. So, we have our tools. Awesome. Now, let's get out of theory and into practice. How do we start drawing that new blueprint for our lives, like today? Here it is, a clear 4-step process. First, the internal audit. You got to ask yourself, where am I looking outside for something that's missing inside? Second, calibrate your interface. Get real about the limiting beliefs that are coloring your reality. Third, build coherence. Every single day, do something to align your mind, body, and emotions. And fourth, write the new code. Start using specific techniques to consciously build better ways of thinking. Okay, theory is good, but let's put these tools to the test. Let's tackle a real-world problem that hits almost everyone: chronic stress. Let's see how an architect renovates a shaky foundation like that. Stress isn't just a bad mood. It's a deep structural instability. It's like a constant earthquake rattling your internal system. And trying to build a happy, successful life on top of that, it's pretty much impossible. Now, this is where it gets really fascinating.
When you stop seeing stress as just some random emotion and start seeing it as a mechanical process. So let's break it down. First, the NLP malfunction is the story you're telling yourself, that internal movie that's way worse than reality, which leads to overreaction. Second, the interface malfunctions when you have no boundaries, letting everything from the outside world just flood in and overwhelm you. And third, the coherent nexus malfunctions when your body gets stuck in fight or flight mode, making it impossible to think clearly.
So how do we dismantle a stress response in the moment? Here's a simple but incredibly powerful action plan. Number 1, close the interface. You are the gatekeeper. Set hard boundaries, turn off the notifications. 2, create physiological coherence. Use your breath like a remote control for your nervous system. Something as simple as box breathing. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. It forces your body to calm down. And 3, break the pattern. Physically get up, change your posture, and reframe that internal story from "I can't handle this" to something like "I am in control and I am calming my system now." And this really brings us to the bottom line. This isn't just a cool idea. It's a decision. It's a choice. You either consciously design the life you want, or you will unconsciously live out a design that was handed to you by your past, by your fears, and by the world around you. So the only question left is for you. As the architect, with the tools right here in your hand and the choice in front of you, what's the first, old, dysfunctional wall that you're going to tear down?